We go to Japan, where the country will start to relax border curbs to allow students and business people into the country from March. Here's Dennis Liu for an update. Dennis.
Good evening, Alma. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida announced that Japan will ease its strict virus border rules to allow students and business people into the country from March. But tourists will still be barred.
3月1日からは検査、行動把握、そして感染拡大リスクの高い場合の待機期間の設定といった基本的な条件を守ることにより、引き続き G7 で最も厳しい水準は維持しつつ、水際対策の骨格を段階的に緩和していきます。外国人の新規入国については、受け入れ責任者の管理のもと、観光目的以外の新規入国者に限って認めることといたします。
Japan has barred tourists since the early days of the pandemic and has in some cases prevented even existing foreign residents from entering the country. The move comes with growing pressure on Japan from the business community and academics to loosen the border restrictions. The curbs are the toughest in the G7 but have broad support from Japanese voters. Last November, the government slightly loosened the rules to allow some students and business people to enter, but then quickly reversed the plan weeks later as the Omicron strain emerged. Experts say after an Omicron-driven spike in infections, cases in Japan now appear to have peaked. More than 400,000 people whose visas have already been approved by authorities were waiting to enter Japan as of January 4th. More than 150,000 of those are students, with another 129,000 workers hired to take part in a technical training program that is a key source of foreign labor for several industries in the country. While Japan has not pursued a zero COVID policy and has avoided strict lockdowns, it has made tough border measures a centerpiece of its pandemic response. Even citizens and returning residents able to enter have been subject to quarantines of up to 2 weeks, with testing before and after entering the country. Kishida said quarantine requirements would now be eased, going from 7 to 3 days if arrivals test negative. Quarantine will be removed altogether for those with 3 vaccine doses coming from countries judged low risk, he added, without specifying particular nations. But asked about tourism, Kishida said the issue was still being discussed, with no time frame in place for a full reopening. Japan has recorded more than 20,950 deaths in the pandemic. Polls show Japanese broadly favor the tough restrictions, with nearly 60% of respondents in a recent survey by public broadcaster NHK backing a continued ban on entry. This is the latest for now. Reporting from Tokyo, Japan, this is Dennis Liu. We live in interesting times.